Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Buddy Hield says he hated seeing Warriors trade Andrew Wiggins. I wish it was me that got traded. Ahead of the February 6th trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors made a big trade for former Miami Heat forward Jimmy Butler. But in order to acquire the 35-year-old, the Warriors had to part with a highly impactful player of their own, forward Andrew Wiggins. Other players and pieces from Miami and Golden State were also involved in the deal, which ended up featuring 5 teams. But the biggest names on the move were Butler and Wiggins. Warriors guard Buddy Hield said he hated seeing Golden State move Wiggins after all that he accomplished with the organization. Especially with Wiggs, it was emotional in that locker room, Hield said. I was even more emotional because I wish it was me that got traded because Wiggs did so much for this franchise. For a guy like that, I hated to see him go like that because he's done so much for this franchise. And I said, man, I wish that was me, because he's put his mark on this franchise, and I know how much he meant to this franchise and the city of San Fran. Wiggins began his stint with the Warriors after he was dealt from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Bay Area in 2020. Across 307 regular season games in his tenure with the squad, he averaged 16.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 0.9 steals and 0.8 blocks per contest. The former University of Kansas star will be remembered by Warriors fans for years to come for his contributions in the 2021-22 season. His only All-Star selection in the NBA to this point came during that campaign. Wiggins was then among Golden State's best players during its title run in the 2022 NBA playoffs. Of everyone on the team, he averaged the second most rebounds and fourth most points per game across 22 starts in that span, and his defense on Boston Celtics forward Jason Tatum in the championship series played a key role in the Warriors coming out on top. However, Wiggins' Warriors tenure is now a thing of the past, and he is seemingly starting to get acclimated to playing for the Heat. After missing some time, he's played in each of Miami's past 3 contests and scored 19-plus points in every one of those games. Most recently, he dropped 22 points while shooting 9 of 17 from the field against the Los Angeles Clippers on Wednesday. But Wiggins' scoring production of late hasn't helped to stop the bleeding for the Heat in the Eastern Conference standings. Miami has now lost 5 games in a row after falling to the Clippers and sits as the number 9 seed in the conference. The Heat also only have a 2-game lead over the number 10 seed Chicago Bulls. Wiggins and the Heat will try to get back in the right direction with a win when they take on the Celtics on Friday. Boston suffered a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder in its most recent contest on Wednesday. Details emerge about Jimmy Butler's feelings towards Heat. Things got very nasty between Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, and he was obviously unhappy with the team during his final months. Now we are getting a bit more insight into why Butler was so dissatisfied with the Heat. According to Mark Spears, Butler didn't feel valued by Miami and saw the franchise moving in a new direction that didn't involve him. Butler wanted to be traded because he felt the Heat were moving in a direction without him in mind and he wanted to be more valued, sources said, Spears reported, per NBA Central. There have been numerous reports about Butler not content about how little he was handling the ball in Miami. Indeed, other players such as Tyler Herro had been showing more leadership on the court, and that apparently bothered Butler. For years, he was the first option for the Heat and was seen as their most valuable player. But the team continued to struggle in the postseason and never won a championship with Butler. Therefore, it is understandable that they would consider trying new things, even if they upset Butler. The 6-time All-Star was so unhappy in Miami that he demanded a trade and made life very difficult for the Heat. He eventually moved to a new team, the Golden State Warriors, and appears revitalized there. He has averaged 17.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.7 assists since coming to Golden State, and the team has been performing very well with him. After a bitter dispute and breakup with the Heat, Butler may have finally found a team that values him in the ways that he wants. Proposed Heat-Jazz trade is huge win for Miami. The Miami Heat's roster needs an overhaul. Jimmy Butler's departure has exposed Eric Spoelstra's team's over-reliance on the veteran forward. Miami needs a new star talent, and arguably a new supporting cast, too. Bleacher Report's Greg Swartz recently proposed a trade that could begin the retooling process for the Heat. The proposed trade looks like this: Utah Jazz get Kel'el Ware, Nikola Jovic, Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, a 2025 first-round pick, top 10 protected via Golden State Warriors, and a 2026 second-round pick via Los Angeles Lakers. Miami Heat get Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson. Markkanen's time with the Jazz the past 3 seasons has been a feel-good story, yet it's time the 27-year-old joined a contender while still in the prime of his career, Swartz reasoned. Utah should ask for, and receive, a collection of young talent and draft picks for Markkanen, especially with Clarkson going out as well. Swartz continued. Ware, 20, is nearly averaging a double-double in 18 starts as a rookie, 10.8 points, 9.9 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, and Jovic, 21, is putting up a career-high 10.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in his 25.1 minutes a night. Both Robinson and Rozier will be on expiring deals. It's hard to envision Pat Riley parting with Ware and Jovic. Both young talents have been impressive this season. They're also on cost-controlled deals, which, under the new collective bargaining agreement, is incredibly important. However, Markkanen would represent the future of the franchise. He's a genuine all-star level talent and would form a fearsome partnership with Bam Adebayo. Riley may choose star-level upside over keeping 2 young and developing players. If he does, he must ensure he replaces their impact. Swartz's proposed trade would undoubtedly lead to a very busy summer on South Beach. Andrew Wiggins was a core component of the Warriors' 2022 championship. He showcased what he can do when fully locked in and healthy. His two-way play throughout that season saw him emerge as one of the best 3-and-D forwards in the league. Unfortunately, Wiggins hasn't reached those heights since earning himself a championship ring. When speaking to reporters during a March 11 media availability, Adebayo backed his new teammate to rediscover his all-star level production with the Heat. "The more he gets comfortable, the more you see how gifted he really is," Adebayo said. "We know what type of talent is. I mean, watching him in ones right now, it's like, he's got game. He's got all the tools to be a successful player. I feel like once he really gets comfortable here, he'll get back to the all-star Andrew." And you, fan? What do you think about Lauri Markkanen's situation? Write to us in the comments.